Morning. I spent the night out here last night, this very lovely little patch of woods, and I had intended to make a video just about my overnighter and the wonderful dinner that I was going to cook myself on my new firebox. However, due to lack of planning and very poor foresight by myself, I ended up knocking filming on the head and dinner and just spending the evening in the woods. So this video is imperfect and unfinished. I will present to you what I did film because I filmed it for you, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll discuss what I learned, what I won't do again, and also why this stick is potentially the coolest nature spot that I've ever spotted.
Stillness, simplicity, silence, all things that have been sorely lacking from the last hectic and frustrating week at work. But fortunately, the fix for such ills is rarely far away. It's Friday night and I was able to log off from work, get straight on the bike and pedal out here to this little patch of woods. It's not a particularly special patch of woods, it's a few miles from home, it's just woods. All woods is good woods, and this particular woods I think is broad enough and dense enough that I should be able to make camp here for the night without bothering anyone, hopefully without anyone bothering me. So I'm under the tarp tonight, which isn't something that I use very often, but it is something that I'd like to be more confident with. So I thought I'd bring it out for a spin while the nights are still warm. You know, we're dancing right on the edge of September now and basking in the tail end of a summer of heat waves, but yesterday night and all morning it absolutely poured with rain. You can smell the woods now being damp for the first time in weeks. It's lovely. But it also just means that at any point the weather could turn and suddenly it feels like we're headed down to autumn. It just happens, doesn't it? And when that does happen, sleeping outside loses some of its appeal for me, I have to admit. As is always the case, putting the tarp up took loads longer than I expected. I'd forgotten all my knots, couldn't remember how it works at all, but that looks alright, doesn't it? Looks like home. Any experienced tarpers out there, leave comments. I'm always up for learning about this stuff. But yeah, it's nearly dark now, and I feel myself unwinding already. It's nice to have those little problems. How do I tie this knot? How do I secure that? They're problems that are important, but they're solvable. I've got all the things I need to solve them. I think I've talked about this in videos before. The simplicity of bike touring and living in the woods. Anyway, got shelter, gonna put my bed together. Forgot my hip flask, like a numpty. But I have got some very exciting plans for dinner. regular viewer, you will have seen me using my Firebox Nano. Comes with me on pretty much every trip I go on. I love it. It's a fantastic bit of kit. But recently I've been seduced by the idea of doing proper cooking at camp, and so I recently bought myself the standard size firebox. I realise I've not planned this very well because I'm in the woods, it's dark, I don't want to be flashing big lights around really, so I can't show you any of the things I'm talking about. I'll get some shots which I'll glaringly cut in, filmed tomorrow morning in the sunshine, but for now I've got me standard firebox, and since I've had it I've managed to bake 2 or 3 pretty decent loaves of bread using the billy can as an oven technique, and I even managed to catch and smoke a fish in it when I was down on the Gower a couple of weeks ago, which is very satisfying. So tonight I'm stepping up the culinary amazingness one more notch. I've got some slices of local venison which I've been marinating in a Chilean mango marinade that I bought from the farmer's market, some onions and peppers. So I'm going to fry those off in a little pan, and I'm going to attempt to make some flatbread, just flour and yogurt and salt, sort of naan bread style thing, and make myself a little woodland wrap burrito type thing. No idea if this is going to work. I might starve to death out here. We shall see.
And that's where it all went a little bit wrong. It turns out that making dough in a bag in the woods in the dark is exactly as difficult and messy as you would imagine. I think I might have had better luck had I chosen a different bag, had I bothered to measure out the ingredients before I came out. I mean, I probably should have tried the whole thing at home before trying it out here, but I didn't. And what I ended up with was hands covered in very sticky yogurty ick, and then after a certain amount of faffing, a pan full of very sticky yogurty ick and quite a lot of leaves, which I managed to burn. The bits on the periphery between the burnt exterior and the raw interior were actually all right, and I did nibble a few. But by that time I'd also realised that filming in the dark isn't very good, and I don't have a permission to be out here, so I didn't want to start shining loads of lights around and drawing attention to myself. So I knocked it on the head, which is a pity, but also not. I mean, dinner didn't turn out to be everything I'd expected, the filming didn't turn out to be everything I'd expected, but the rest of it was lovely. I had my little fire, I sat here on this fallen tree and washed away the week, which is what I really wanted to do when I came out here. And then we come to the stick. The exciting stick. So after dinner failed, I sat for a bit and just enjoyed the woods, listened to the owls and the beasties in the undergrowth. And the fire burned down and it was incredibly dark. You know, we're under quite a thick canopy here. And there was no moon that I could see, no stars. So it's about as dark as you're going to get without being indoors or in a cave. You know, I couldn't see more than a few feet, and under the tarp even more so. And as I was crawling in to get into bed, I saw something glowing on the ground, and I reached out and picked it up, and it was the interesting stick. About 2 or 3 centimetres on one end were glowing incredibly faintly, so faintly that at first I thought it was one of those hallucinations that you get in dark places. But I was able to put it to one side, close my eyes, look away, and go straight back to it a good few times. So I'm pretty sure it was actually glowing. Do we get bioluminescent fungi and things in the UK? I don't know. I mean, I know they are a thing that exists, but I've never heard of them or seen them round here before. And that's all I can think that it must be. unless I've sort of developed a special power of being able to identify a subset of UK twigs in the dark, which is a superpower with crime fighting potential of 0, I think. Yeah, I know, I can't think of anything else it could be, and if it is bioluminescent stuff, then that would be brilliant. I mean, there's nothing on the stick that I can see. Maybe the very faintest grey dusting of something that could be mycelium. Who knows? Any fun guys out there who want to enlighten me on this fact? So that was exciting. Dinner failed, but the rest of it was very pleasant. And you know, I chalk this up to a learning experience. I think on a channel full of weird and pointless videos, this is probably the weirdest and most pointless I've done to date, but you know, it is what it is. If you feel like I've wasted your time, I apologise. I'll do better next time. If not, if you enjoyed it, then that's brilliant. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. As always, thank you very much to all my supporters on Ko-fi, especially those of you who do the monthly subscription thing. These fine folk. You are appreciated, as I always say. But yeah, that's that for now. Gonna break camp, get home, start on my Saturday. See you all on the next one. Bye now.